The September 26th SAT yielded a high trove of very big scores. And the reasoning probably was not an easier or a harder test. It was kids that were better prepared and with more time to prepare and probably more predisposed than most to go through the extra time needed to deal with cancellations. Some kids actually went out of state to take the test because their own test center was closed. That's a determined kid, one that is predisposed to getting the most out of the test. If coached as well, then a very good score likely to ensue. We are good coaches. With good kids who have time, the results are almost surely going to be really good. I do not think the SAT makers were creating a soft test. I think we have kids that were prepared to exploit the test. And here's why it makes sense. We at Ivy Bound test kids on relatively higher level materials than the norm. The extra stuff that we give are not low, sometimes medium, but includes a good number of high level stuff. So our students are used to battling with high level stuff. On an ordinary SAT, there might be only 7 questions per section that are considered high level. On this past SAT in September, maybe there was 12 or 13 of those questions that our kids were well prepared to do. So then a forgiving scale, because it's hard, helps those kids the most, deservedly the most. The scores from a week later have started to come in. October 3rd's test, equally good. And that tells me even more with assurance that this isn't softness of the SAT. This is goodness of students who have mastered the SAT and are getting good scores no matter what. The SAT isn't going to go 3 times in a row with a soft test if they do one at all. If there was a such thing as a soft test from the SAT, forgiving scale and not so difficult, again, I don't think that exists, but if it did, colleges wouldn't know. And this goes back to our advice, taking the SAT many times so that you don't miss anything. If there was a test that is soft, or just plain more likely, a test that for you is soft, it just went right up your alley for the reading comp passages, no daunting math that troubled you, you steamed through all the sections. That's what you get when you have a multitude of test opportunities. It might be what you get on the first opportunity. You get a great score, you are one and done. But to assure yourself of a great score overall, when you have 4 or 5 opportunities, take them. No college is holding, maybe one. Georgetown seems to be holding multiple testings against kids. It's the only one we know of. Every other college that we've talked to, every other one, doesn't care how many times you take the test. Take the test. Do well. We're here for you if you need us. This is really just an explanation for this fall phenomenon. I'm Mark Greenstein of Ivy Bound.